in blue on the for PONOS Sports and Jaii in red for Bren Esports. There's a lot of sports in this match. There's the Ice Golem and a Mega Minion from Jaii.
What do you pair up with? Tengod, even with the Ice Wizard, we did see Electro Wizard along with that. Not just in 2v2. Continuing that pattern.
Yeah, what else are we going to see from these players? There's a Night Witch, probably a Golem deck here for Jaii. For Tengod, I still am unsure about what his win condition is going to be. There's the Golem. Oh no, the Dark Witch. Oh, she almost pushed in front of the Golem. That would have been a disaster for Jai's push. Usually you want that Night Witch to be perfectly behind the Golem so that she can spawn bats with no issue. There's Tengod's graveyard.
Jaii does not have too much.
So much connections here.
Jaii does not have too much things to actually defend. He used that poison right before. He knew that Golem was not going to get value from the Night Witch. And he wanted that to at least get some value with the poison, but he ended up using a lot more because of that push.
And that tower is down to about half HP on that top right-hand side. So Graveyard doing so much work. There's a Dark Prince for Jaii. But what else is he going to put out here? Is he going to be able to defend the next Graveyard that comes out? I assume now that he knows about it, he will. But there's the Night Witch. We're going to see a Golem in the front soon enough. But the Night Witch doesn't even get to the bridge.
That's the tough thing. Do you actually go all the way in to create massive attack? Do you actually put out all the elixirs when you know that the miner will be coming right after whenever Jaii has extra elixirs available?
Alright, so we see the Mega Minion come down and the Ice Wizard again as the answer to that. This time though, Jaii does place the Golem in the back. This is going to allow him to build something behind of it where Tengod doesn't have an eternity to come up with the counter to it.
It is also for him to defend. Dark Prince does charge in right behind, but Ice Wizard slowing it down. Poison getting some massive value, but still the push is coming. Miner should be the one doing the massive. And Poison from Tengod to delay and do damage to the back line. Dark Prince does go down. Next one is the Night Witch.
Yeah, the Miner did some damage to that tower, but not that much. And Jai's tower is at 812 with this Graveyard being dropped. Defensive Poison is going to be able to clean most of that up without taking any damage, but the Poison there as well. 527. That's in chippable range right now. A
few skeletons actually landing a hit onto that tower. And
there's the aggressive Poison from Tengod, making sure that Night Witch cannot summon that many bats, but she does escape. She is now able to summon as many bats as she feels like. She walks over to that tombstone, cleans up those skeletons, and she's still alive. Now we have 3 bats. The Golem does connect. There's a lot here. This is going to deal a lot of damage if it connects. The Mega Minion, the Poison, down to 276. 18 is going to finish.
And the Mega Minion just takes care of the rest of the damage. He was thinking that it's going to go down from the Princess
Tengod for PONOS Sports in the blue, and Jaii for Bren Esports in red. What is this one going to do? It's all to do here for Tengod. Does drop out that Mega Minion. The bats do come out. Bats not really the most dangerous unit when they're played naked like that. They do die quite quickly to a tower.
And we do have the Expo. Expecting something nearby, but the P.E.K.K.A dropping right down. The Expo will very likely to be gone, but Infernal Dragon will actually get the counter to it. It's a good trade for both sides.
Yeah, so that means we can probably guess the other cards in Tengod's deck are going to be something like Archers, maybe a Knight. Oh, Fireball as well, yeah. Nicely cleaned up there. But doesn't leave himself with enough elixir to be able to summon that Expo. So we're going to see him buy some time, cycle through his deck a little bit more.
At least Tengod with this Expo deck does have tool to take out the P.E.K.K.A. Without the Infernal Dragon in his deck, could have been a dangerous way of approaching in this case. And even though Expo is very strong with lots of small units.
Flying Machine. Oh, the Expo does connect. Goblin Gang goes down instantly to that log. About 600-700 damage. They're not particularly shabby for that Expo. Very good connection there.
Tengod finds himself a little puzzled as Expo did get some straight hits, but he's waiting for that attack to be where is the next placement is going to be. Because he doesn't have the Tesla, but he does have an Inferno Dragon now. Jaii making the initial move.
Expo comes down again. Is it going to connect before the P.E.K.K.A comes in range? It does! It hits the tower. This is going to be dangerous. Good zap by Jaii though, making sure that that Expo retargets onto that P.E.K.K.A. And then P.E.K.K.A comes in. Flying Machine gets fireballed. P.E.K.K.A will go down to the Inferno Dragon. Inferno Dragon will go down to the Bats. The Bats will go down to the tower. And we're back at nothing on the field. There's a Mega.
But Jaii did end up getting that value a little bit from Poison. We'll get some scratch, but in terms of HP, of course, Tengod in a lead. Because that Fireball has been so effective, and also Expo, of course, this time we'll be locking onto that P.E.K.K.A.
Yep, that's kind of what Jaii needs. He needs that P.E.K.K.A to take the damage from the Expo, because if that connects to the tower, he's going to be in a very bad position.
Now, because he didn't have to use that zap to the Expo, he does have one extra available. This one is going to go down with the Mega Minion.
P.E.K.K.A was so close to dealing damage. The Expo comes down. It connects onto the Miner, unfortunately. That was very close. If that Miner was a little bit further placed back, would have the Expo would have connected, and that tower would have taken a lot more damage.
Well, look at the damage from Expo and how Poison was used only to get remaining HP of Expo and nothing else. But that's not going to be available for the next push of P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah, Minion Hordes comes down. Does get Ice Spirited. Mega Minion will clean up the rest. Flying Machine will be cleaned up by these two cards. Maybe not. I expect to see the Fireball coming down soon.
Everything in the zap range. Nicely done by Jaii to actually have everything in place.
P.E.K.K.A goes down. No damage done to the tower. 1,098 against 2,190. Tengod does have a very, very strong advantage in terms of HP here. There's the Expo. Will Jaii have anything to put into the front? Does connect onto the Miner. But the Goblin Gang goes down. There we go. Connects to the tower. It looks like it's going to go down.
And it seems like it. He does have the rotation for Zap very soon, but not just in time. And there's a Fireball to secure. Tengod will bring it back to 1-1. Going into game number 3.
Yeah, that Expo was countered. All right, and we are back here. Tengod for PONOS Sports. Jaii for Bren Esports. The last game of this set. Winner takes all in this match. We see the Royal Ghost and the Mega Minion. Again, Mega Minion has showed his face quite a lot in today's games.
Very good defensive unit. It's really hard to have Mega Minion actually doing direct damage to the tower. Rarely.
But when he does, he kills it, apparently, as we saw last game, last match. Both players having a little bit of a feel out here of what the other person's doing, and then waiting a little bit to see, like, you know, will he go for a Miner like Jaii just did. The Ice Spirit again here kind of shows me that we've got a very different deck, very similar to the first game, I believe.
Tengod really liking that Ice Wizard.
It's a very useful unit, but Jaii has that Lava Hound coming in. Is there enough air defense here for
I think they
Tengod?
have more than enough. It's so much slow, and the aggro even from the Tombstone. Maybe just enough for Tengod to delay. Here comes the Cannon card.
Cannon card, very interesting choice. We haven't seen much of the Cannon card since Mega Knight fell out of favor, but Lava Hound goes down. Miner in the back though, going to town with those last two pups. 1,300, 1,200, 1,000. Oh, it goes down to about 800. And the poison is still ticking away. Jaii taking a very commanding lead. Does he have enough to defend though?
Let's see, he does have the guards this time. Just as a defensive tool against the Royal Ghost. They get a few hits, but doesn't really matter as much as he still has 2018. That's the time we're living in right now. 785, down to 785. A lot of damage from pups, and also the Miner connecting so much.
Yeah, Miner did so much work, and unfortunately Royal Ghost is not a very good counter to Miner because he doesn't appear until that Miner is already connected on the tower. Graveyard coming in. This is a very similar deck to game number 1 for Tengod. I don't know why he went back down to this deck, but Poison comes out defensively and aggressive. It's an aggressive Poison, taking a lot of damage off that tower, but not enough. It's down to 1,251.
2 Poison from Jaii will actually finish the game, and we only have a few seconds. Another cannon cart. Does not actually catch with the Graveyard, so has to drop on the guard also.
Just out of range at the tower. That could have been really dangerous. The Graveyard did connect, but there's the Miner. The Miner doesn't connect. The Ice Wizard played just in time to slow it down to a halt. But there is so much coming here.
Does have the Poison along, even if the units do no damage. Another Poison will finish the game. So as long as he defends well enough, that's all he needs at the moment.
Tengod needs to finish on this next attack. He has no other choice. This Graveyard needs to complete the game, but the Miner connects.
One
more hit. Jaii takes set number 1.
We'll take set number 1 with the Miner Poison doing most of the damage. Even against the Graveyard, you just had the guards. Let's get in Balloon Bend. So Tornado, Poison, and all the others except for the Rocket can be played in this game. The entire match.
Yeah, so the Miner comes in. There's
I was
the
about to say that's quite dangerous to have that Miner in place just like that.
Yeah, it looks as though Mikan Bouya was like, oh, I thought Tornado was banned. I completely forgot. So he didn't look very happy that that happened there. But the Miner comes in also from Bren Esports. Both these teams playing with fire, having Miners in their decks.
Yeah, but better
like
placement
this.
of the Miner. That's where it should be. But just doesn't really get dragged all the way to the King Tower. Tesla being dropped down by PONOS Sports. Great way of dealing against Inferno Dragon. Another Miner, great Poison. There's some value, some damage to that.
Tornado does almost take out that Inferno Dragon. Guards played just at the right time. Tower will take it down. However, PONOS Sports is at a bit of another Tornado pulling that Miner away. Bren Esports do not want that Miner in or around that tower.
At all. They took the least amount of damage. Making sure all the cannons are locked into that Miner all the time. See how much see the damage difference between the same amount of Miner went out. Of course, defense was different, but in terms of damage, just from the tower, has been massive with 2 more cannons from the King Tower for Bren Esports by activating the King Tower with the Tornado. The offensive Tornado on their own.
You have a good Tesla placement there, making sure that even though the Giant Skeleton got pulled away by the Tornado, it still will drop away from the tower because you do not want that Giant Skeleton blowing up on your tower. There's the Miner again. No Tornado this time to pull him into the middle of nowhere. Poison comes down as well, but instantly that Miner gets ripped to shreds.
And after those 2 Tornadoes, it is actually easier to predict where the Miner is going to be. Because if it's way too close to the King Tower, it's going to be dragged or damage from the towers.
Double Executioner there, almost one-shotting that Miner. Good Tornado, making sure that Giant Skeleton is on the opposite side away from these 2 Executioners, but the 2 Executioners had no health. They couldn't push forward. The Miner, again, connects with that Giant Skeleton.
Just making sure it goes to the other side, but once you can't really make your own push...
Is he going to drop in range? Ooh, if he'd have killed that guard there, it would have been over. But Miner comes in. Good guard placement, good Poison placements all around here.
Double Poison from PONOS Sports, and they actually want to... They actually wanted to drag that Giant Skeleton into the range and get the explosion damage onto the tower. Not going to be the same as Bren Esports. We'll just finish it off with the log with the rest of the Poison damage.
There we go.
Game.
Wow, Bren Esports really bringing it today, showing what they are capable. Fuchi+mikan bouya for PONOS Sports in the blue. No aim cy+Detective Hecka in red for Bren Esports. Bren Esports taking a very demanding lead right now.
See, that's exactly where you want to place your Miner. And
Mikan Bouya is like, good job, you didn't mess it up this time. Alright, Giant Skeleton comes in. Those guards will die quite easily to the tower.
Same responses from both sides. Similar starting hands.
very similar starting decks. There's the Inferno Dragon, going to connect onto that giant skeleton. And the Dark Prince dropped on the other lane. They're assuming that that Inferno Dragon probably should have been next to that bomb. That was what they were looking for.
Once again, and activates the King Tower.
Oh no, not again, PONOS Sports. What are you doing?
And even the skeleton does not get dragged. It was already onto the bridge. Tornado does activate their own King Tower, but Princess drops below 1400 already.
Very dangerous here for PONOS Sports. What are we going to see here? There's the Princess. Does get one hit. Instantly logged. But what is going to defend against that Inferno Dragon? Ice Spirit stops it. Princess Tower cleans it up. Yep. Bren Esports, very commanding 2v2 when they have no aim Cy and Detective Hecka. Very, very commanding 2v2 play.
They're in control so far. Even this poison just being used right now, but look at that.
Instantly an aggressive poison, just in case they were going to drop something like goblins to clean up that mega minion. There's the Dark double giant skeleton here. Will we see the clone? Pulls it next to the tower, but doesn't pull hard enough. Oh,
double the tornado!
Oh no!
Look at that, they throw in. Oh.
Big mistake there.
Big elixir use from both of them.
Big, big mistake. You never want to drop both tornadoes at the same time.
They still do have the lead, and they throw in another poison. So, PONOS Sports, they want to go all in, double the poison, try to chip it to the damage, finishing right before 3-minute mark.
Yeah, but that miner was unluckily in the wrong place. He gets hit by all 3 towers when he's in that slot. So you don't want that. You want it to be on the other side, but that makes it a bit too predictable.
Let's look at this push from PONOS Sports. They have the miner, both of them not really landing too many hits, but yeah, double the poison once again. And they still have the executioner along the giant skeleton.
But look at that miner poisoned down by PONOS Sports Tower. It's going very low. Who's going to be able to finish this? Are they going to take this into extra time?
Tornado does not connect, does not bring the miner. A big mistake from Bren Esports. Will actually continue in this game. Tornado did not connect to the miner. If it did, miner could not finish the tower. And that was going to be the game over for PONOS going over to Bren Esports. A big mistake there.
Yeah, the pendulum of power is definitely swung now into PONOS Sports' favor. But just from that one mistake, look how low that tower is getting already. There's the miner again. 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hits. Just missed out on the 3 hits, but that giant skeleton is dangerously close.
Oh, way too close to the tower. This may actually connect, but not just in range. It actually...
Oh, they needed to use their own, but that is in range.
How close it gets. No, it does not connect to the tower directly. Out of range. Luckily for PONOS Sports, it's maybe just the game over ending one. Miner does go in once again from Bren Esports. Pushes are continuing.
Yeah, there's the miner up at top, but does get taken down by that Mega Minion. Poison comes in from PONOS Sports. Who is going to be able to take it? That tower is now down to 647. Just a few more hits.
They have a lot more poison in work. And the log, if the miner does connect, seems like they are on the road to finish this game. Another poison lands on. Direct damage to the tower. Single more miner, or the log will just finish the game with the poison to end right here with that 2 crown. We'll go to game number 1 more game for their match win here.
Yeah, but PONOS Sports in the blue do have a chance to take this to the ace match, where they have proven that they are incredibly strong, because they usually use Mikan bouya in those ace matches, and he is insane at 1v1.
You use the log along with the miner just to push some unit away so that miner can actually connect the shovel directly to the tower, but did not work. Great timing and placement of the ice golem by PONOS. You see these small. Oh, actually Magic Archer comes out, doing some damage to the tower, goes in directly, will get taken out from the bomb.
Yeah, that bomb there cleans so much up, and you can see that Bren Esports were like, oh no. And this is why guards are so good. Even though they tank that death damage, they still walk forward. They're still putting in that little bit of damage against those units.
Once again, they have realized the poison has to be in work, at least touching the tower, starting from the beginning. That's the way, that is the equation, the answer.
There's the Ice Golem. Perfect pull from that giant skeleton, making sure that he gets nowhere near the towers, taking a lot of damage, and the bomb explodes into nowhere. Poison Miner dropping again. This time, Bren Esports miner actually connects onto the Dark Prince, whereas PONOS Sports' miner connected onto that tower, and that's bad news for Bren Esports.
That's because they have been throwing it in a log to do damage to the tower a little bit and then to push in again, but failed again in this time. Executioner working their way to clean up the units.
Yeah, quite easily here, the double Executioner takes it out. Magic Archer, that's not the position you usually want to put him in, but they have to use the miner to take him out, and the miner connects onto the tower. Giant Skeleton does just about push miner out of range of that tower. So now there's 2 giant skeletons walking down to your tower.
Well, Magic
what do
Archer
you
just
do?
understanding the range of how far he can actually shoot. He can actually shoot from the other side, of course. We'll walk towards the other way.
Poison, there's so much damage being done here. The giant skeleton does go down. Is it going to take down the other giant skeleton? It doesn't, but the Executioner's axe should. But that Executioner is now going to die to that explosion damage.
Look how both teams are basically throwing every spell to do damage all the time onto that tower.
Yeah, they need to. It's a game of inches, not miles. Oh, the Magic Archer has the perfect angle with that Ice Golem. Connected onto that tower almost 4 times. That's so much extra damage there.
Activate the King Tower with the poison.
Big mistake by PONOS Sports. It's going to make it a lot harder now for them to take this victory as that tower is activated.
As Bren Esports already doing so much damage with the log with the second poison now in hand. Another miner connects directly, only 1 second. Guard's a little bit too late.
Enough.
It goes below the range of single poison would finish the game. All they need to do is defend right now. One more spell finishes the game right here. Double miner and double poison, but it is going to be game over. And Bren Esports will finish the game with the log in fashion of styles.
And that is it. Bren Esports showing that their loss yesterday was not routine. They took 1 loss yesterday and